Hello, everyone, and welcome to Overcast. Thank you for joining for the 72nd episode of Overcast, your Overwatch podcast. I am Frostee, and I am joined by both of my co-hosts this week, Sawfty and Ovadrive. How are you guys doing out there today?
Hey,
Doing good.
well.
It has been an exciting week, to say the least, probably. We've had a lot happening. A lot of us dropped this week, and which means we have a lot to talk about. So let's jump into the formalities first, of course. Remember, you can join us on Twitter at Overcast Show. You can head to our blog page, which is overcast.frozenfoxmedia.com. FrozenFoxMedia.com is our home for all of our podcasts and other content on the Frozen Fox Media Network, so hit that up. I am sure that we have something for you no matter what you like. And if you are watching on the video version on YouTube, thank you very much. Make sure you give us a thumbs up and subscribe. Or if you are listening to the audio version on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play Music, or anywhere else, if you love the show, let us know by leaving us a good review, and make sure you subscribe there or wherever you are so that you don't miss any episodes of the show in the future. And the formalities are out of the way, so there we go.
All right. So, Sawfty, since you missed last week, what have you been up to?
I did miss last week. I've had a lot of family stuff going on, and haven't been able to be here consistently, so sorry about that, guys. So, let's see.
That just makes it extra special when you're here.
Yeah. Well, I hope to be here every week. It just hasn't happened. So, I have been protesting Season 4, refusing to play until certain mechanical robots are out of my way. I've been starting looking at streaming on Twitch again, which is kind of fun to do, set that stuff up. I quit artificial sugar and caffeine, which has been horrible.
That's a tough thing. It's tough.
Yeah. This is the second full week, so I'm 14 days in. So that's been definitely a challenge. I got water with me all the time.
My wife is doing the same thing, so she's like,
oh,
it's intense for a while, but
yeah.
Eventually she's like,
sucks.
she said, like, you just get over it. And I was like, well, I'm not going to leave it, so.
Yeah, it's I have drank pop all my life, and I definitely enjoy energy drinks during the day, and that's all gone. I'm still the guy that picks up donuts for work, and I don't eat any of them anymore, and that's really hard because I sit at my desk all day.
Oh, lame.
But yeah, it's been kind of a weird challenge, but we're getting there. That, and I've been doing a lot of leveling and work on my Demon Hunter, taking some inspiration from Ova and putting some time into the Demon Hunter. And I've really enjoyed it. I love it, man. I posted on Twitter that when I completed the campaign, it actually felt like a real moment. And it was, the story behind it was so cool. I really enjoyed the Demon Hunter and wish I would have had the guts to start with one.
Yeah. It'll be tough to get out of the it'll be tough to step away from the double jump to go to any other character.
Oh my god, my monk doesn't jump over the double jump, my
right.
warrior won't do it. It's so frustrating. I'm sitting there, my balance through it going, what's wrong with you? It is really frustrating, and it's hard to not play with Demon Hunter now because of the glide too. Yeah. It's like I don't have to worry about dying from falling anytime, and then you just drop super fast. I mean, it's so much fun. That's been pretty much my whole week. How about you, Frosty?
It's been a week of getting over midterms. Finally finished that, and
yep.
So that was kind of crazy. I got 2 weeks before I take the MPRE, which is the Multi-State Professional Responsibility Exam, basically to see how ethical I am going to be as an attorney, I guess. So I've got my little study booklet, just kind of getting ready for that. That's kind of like the pre-bar, for example. So it's kind of like the easy test before you have to take the stupid hard test.
Yeah. It's like the GMATs.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of gearing up for that. I have also two giant papers that I have to write. Of course, my last semester I take 2 classes where I have to write a paper, and I have to have the drafts in by like the 24th. So I got to get on those. I've been outlining those all week, and been playing Horizon Zero Dawn this week too. Got that, and that story it's so awesome. Like the story just sucks me in because it's like post-apocalyptic Earth, and you're trying to figure out like what's going on. So it's been really good. I'm like 2/3 of the way through it. I don't know how many hours I put in, just staying up till like 6 in the morning playing it.
I see you up at that time, and I think, what are you doing?
Yeah, it's I'm trying to get it done so because I got Mass Effect Andromeda on pre-order, but I told myself I can't play it till after the NPRE, so I'm trying to get this in so that I can study and get all the other stuff done, and then when I'm on spring break, I can knock that game out. So yeah, it's been doing that, and of course me and Ova have been raiding with Room of the Moose, and Kaz has been out of town this weekend, so I've just been partying it up. You know, me and the dogs just living the life. You know.
Isn't that kind of fun for a short amount of time?
It is. It is.
Yeah.
There's, I get to get whatever food I want. You know, there's no diet restrictions or anything like that. So
Clean up when you want.
Clean up when I want. Yeah. So there we go. And I guess I'll say I was on the Game Case show this last week. So if you want to check it out, and if anybody out there wants to check it out, I was there with Cuddles and Turarts, kind of talking about Overwatch and about just random stuff in the Blizzard gaming world, really. It's a lot of fun, so it always is. So there's that, and I guess I'll turn it to Ova. What have you been up to this week?
This week was doing some heroic progression. We were on Star Augur, got him to like 8%. So very, very close. It'll be exciting to get him down on heroic. In Overwatch, tried out Season 4. I probably should have waited a day or two to do placements, but I had that bug. I needed to get in there and try out Season 4, and we'll talk about that a little bit later, but that's been fun. I definitely checked out the PTR, which we'll talk about in a little bit, and also got into the Gwent beta.
Nice.
I don't know if you've heard of that. It's a card game. Similar to Hearthstone, comes from The Witcher. So
the Gwent beta is what taught me how to play Gwent, because when I was playing The Witcher, I was like terrible and didn't understand the game. And when I played the Gwent beta, it like has that tutorial, and I was like, oh, now I understand the game. It makes complete sense all of a sudden.
Yeah, I just got it, so I haven't played a whole lot of it, but I'm excited to try that out.
Awesome. It's like a new kind of Hearthstone, right? In a way.
Yeah.
Another card game. But it's fun. I like it. Nice. Well, let's jump into the topics for the week then. We have quite a lot of ground to cover this week, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to put like the super exciting news aside, because this is like our tradition. We talk about competitive first. So Season 4 is underway. I thought we were going to have more of a break. I thought maybe we get like another week off. And then all of a sudden it was like, hey, enjoy Season 4. And I'm like, what? Oh. So Season 4 is here. Let's get some impressions. Ova, you were just in a competitive match.
I was.
And let us know what you're thinking about Season 4 right now.
Yeah, Season 4 has been interesting to say the least. I went into placements and I did not do very well. I think I only won one of my 10 placements. Mm-hmm. But it's strange because they kind of place you right where you left off. So I was 400 SR below. I placed 400 SR below where I left off in Season 3. And then when I got into kind of the real matchmaking, it was just winning, winning, winning. So I'm back up 300 SR, which doesn't make any sense to me. It felt like quick play going in there. It was, I don't know. Yeah. It's been a little crazy in there, but it's been fun. It's been good. Bastion is very prevalent in all of the matches.
We got
everywhere.
Got the Mercy Bastion Omnic meta coming back. You know.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, if you haven't done your placements, I'd maybe wait a little bit, but that's what I can recommend.
Nice. And just avoid those Hanzo mains. Although you've been winning despite them, you know.
Yeah, I've been able to win with Hanzo mains on my team. That's always fun to have.
Awesome. I will say that I was so busy this week that when Season 4 dropped, I was like, why this week? Because I'm so busy and I have not played Season 4 competitive yet, especially with the other news that we're going to talk about next. I definitely didn't have time to do my placement matches now. So I will go to Sawfty. I know you have some strong opinions on Season 4, the Omnic meta, and more. So let us know. You're protesting. What is your protest, Sawfty?
The Robopotamus. I have avoided Season 4 like the plague. I've had a lot of friends that have let me know just to give it some time, let it develop out. So I have basically just been doing arcade and the occasional quick match to warm up. Not a huge fan of the meta right now. Not a huge fan of some news in the future here that we'll talk about. But the Omnic Rising is happening, and I, for one, will not stand for it.
You need a protest sign.
That's all you need to know.
Next week, we expect a protest sign.
Oh, yeah. It'll be there. I'll make it.
Awesome.
My wife will make it. Otherwise, it'll look terrible.
So there's your kind of intro to Season 4. We'll have more to report back on the status of it next week. Ova will tell you if he's still climbing. I'll let you know if I place where it's going to be, because even though I'm working on stuff, I'll still have time to do that. So, and let's get on to the big news. This is ending all the speculation that we had before, because we were like, well, first of all, I found out I was pronouncing her name wrong. So it's Efi, not Effie. It's Efi.
Efi.
So we were talking about Efi and Doomfist and like what was going to happen, and then it's like, let's take like a left turn out of nowhere, and all of a sudden we are. Well, I'll tell the story of my wife, because she's at the Game Developers Conference right now, and she went to the Overwatch art panel yesterday. And when the art panel was going on is when Overwatch like released the new hero into the wild.
Yep.
And so like the people at the convention and in the panel and everything didn't even know it was happening, like right then when the person was talking. And so they stood up in there and they were like, oh, hey, I guess none of you probably have your phones out, so we have a new hero that we're announcing right now. So here it is. Let's just play the video, you know. So everybody was like freaking out. And lo and behold, Orisa is revealed to the world. So Orisa like comes out of nowhere. She's I guess we could call her like a modified security robot, you know, the Efi modified, and she has kind of a cool backstory. I guess it's you know, like Kaplan said before, that the Efi was gonna play a role in the backstory of the new hero. We just had no idea that this is what it was gonna be. Like, I don't think. Was there anything you've seen that would have predicted Orisa? I mean,
no, but there was. I don't know if you saw on Reddit. There was a big post around like the posters in what was it? Was it Numbani?
Yeah.
Yeah, the big posters that were out there, and it didn't look exactly like Orisa, but it kind of had the shape of her head and some of the colors and things like that. But I think that was the only indication that I saw, if anything.
Yeah. So, Ova, I know that you are enjoying Orisa on the PTR. I've had the chance to play. I don't know if Sawfty has. Ova, give us your
Why
impression.
would I?
Give us your impression of Orisa and her kit. She's got quite a unique kit.
Yeah.
She's a tank, and like we said before the show when we were kind of talking about it, she kind of envelops like almost all the tanks into one.
Yeah. There's kind of aspects of 4 or 5 different heroes that she has in her kit, so I'll just kind of run down the list. The first is her weapon is kind of a long range, almost like a Bastion weapon. It has 200 rounds, fires pretty far, and the spread isn't too big on it. It just when you're playing with it and you're holding down that right click, it feels like it takes forever to deplete it, which is pretty cool.
I think Kaplan said that her fire she can shoot as far as like Zarya's alternate fire, which is super far.
Yeah, big grenade lob. Yeah, it's really long distance. She has, I believe it's her E. Her E ability will shoot out. You can kind of projectile a shield to your team. So if you're not right next to your team, you can almost throw the shield over to her.
Yeah.
And Jeff described it as almost like a half Winston bubble that'll come up in front of your team, which is pretty cool. And then her alternate click it's almost like a Symmetra orb that goes out, and it's going to actually pull people in towards that orb. But if you right click again, it's actually going to stop and pull everybody in. And there's some really unique things you can do with this. Like if you throw it towards the edge, or even in the well in Ilios, you can pull people into the well. You can pull pretty much the whole team into the well.
Yep.
So it's like you have a graviton surge on cooldown at all times.
Pull people around corners, everything.
Yeah, pull people around corners. It's pretty fun.
That's fantastic.
She also has an ability called Fortify. and it's used with your, I believe, shift key, and essentially she's immune to everything. So Reinhardt ults, Reinhardt charges, Mei ults, she walks right through. Pretty much anything you can think of, she's immune to, unless you get slept first. It doesn't take you out of that. But if you get into like a Junkrat trap, you can actually use that to get out of it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's nuts.
Anything that changes your status, basically.
Yeah.
Frozen, stunned, all that.
Yeah. And her ultimate ability is, it's kind of like Anna's, but it pretty much is this little almost drum-looking thing that she pulls off of her back, places on the ground, and anybody that's in line of sight of that little drum, I'm going to call it, is going to get a visual line drawn to that player, and their damage is then increased for the duration of that ult being up. But the other team can kill it, so you need to be protecting it or putting it in a place where, the enemy cannot get to easily. So that's kind of her kit.
Nice.
Is there anything I missed there?
I think you got it all.
Pretty good.
Let's talk about Orisa's looks. So she's based on, what is it, like the OR 14? She was an OR 15 like upgraded bot, right? I think that's the name of it.
Yeah.
And so she has 4 legs. She's like a kind of like a centaur looking thing. And I think it's kind of cool. Like, I think her design is it fits, where she's from and everything, and the character. I can understand like why they did that. I'm not a huge fan of centaur people though. So it's a little bit of like, I love the kit. I think the kit's really cool.
Yeah.
And so it's like hard for me because I'm like, I love the kit and it's fun to play, but I don't like how I look. But I guess I don't see myself. So I guess I can kind of like put that aside.
Just don't emote.
Don't emote. Yes. And Sawfty, I know that you're having quite the heartburn over this. So
not a fan.
Let us know what do you think about Orisa, about Robopotamus, as you referred to her, I think.
Robopotamus, yeah. So like Frostee, I like the kit. I like a lot of what she can do and the possibilities. My first problem with Orisa came during the announcement of Orisa. He talked about the OR 14?
Yeah.
And then the OR 15, right?
Yep.
So this girl builds it and she calls it Orisa. Right?
Yep.
Why did she call it Orisa?
OR 15A.
Exactly. He didn't say that. Where was that? That bothered the crap out of me. Oh my god! I sat there and went, "Wait, is he not going to say it?" That was step 1. Step 2 is look at Sombra and all the work that they put into Sombra and the release and all these little tiny things, the Easter eggs they put in. And then Orisa was like, "Hey, I don't know if you guys heard. We're going to announce a new character over there. It's going to have an awesome moveset, but we're going to ignore all the rest. We're not going to really announce it to anybody. It's going to look like a Robopotamus." I love the kit. I felt like that kit could have belonged to a lot of things, and I don't like... I feel like it's the used car of the Overwatch world, whereas all the other ones are shiny new things with really cool backstories and all this personality, and OR15A is like, okay, it's a thing that you turn on and it vacuums the house.
Well, you got to keep in mind, Effie was a genius, not an artist, so
Oh.
she's kind of modeled off of a 11-year-old artist. So
here's the thing, though. Effie, I think, would be a fantastic hero. If you got to play as her with some sort of mechanic using Orisa, I think that would be great. I think that would take a lot of thought and ingenuity, and I would applaud them for that. But instead, we got essentially Effie's vacuum cleaner, which Effie okay, we're gonna clean the house, okay. I really feel that there's a lot of missed opportunity here for a really cool, neat thing that they haven't done before, and I really wish they had taken that extra step, which they seem to have for so many other characters. Like, how cool are some of these characters when you stop and think about it? And I wish they had done that. But
just wait till we get Athena. Yeah, Athena's gonna be cool.
I want the hazmat guy.
I know,
you turn
right?
me on to the hazmat guy.
He looks cool, right? Like,
He's cool. I really want that guy.
Or
in the game.
See, I don't dislike him at all. I just like I said, it's more about missed opportunity here, and oh well, I'll just bite my tongue at that point.
Or the spider tank. I want the spider
Spider
tank.
tank. I like that idea.
Okay, well, let's talk about how, because with it, we got, the release video. We also got a video from Jeff Kaplan talking about it that detailed a lot of, who she is and the abilities and things like that. He also talked about the philosophy of Orisa as being the anchor tank, kind of like how Reinhardt is kind of like that anchor tank where you kind of group up by him and everybody kind of like can pull off of him, and it's very everybody kind of orient around him. And now Orisa, they wanted her to kind of play a little bit of that role as well. So it's a little bit different, of course, because Orisa has like a different mechanism of shielding, and she's completely different herself. But she still can fill that kind of like he said, like the slow-moving anchor tank role. And I don't know. I'll ask both of you. What do you think, Ova? Do you think that she can do that? From what you've seen?
I mean, she has a lot more utility. I wouldn't say as much mobility because Reinhardt can charge and do things like that, but she has a lot more utility, and I think you'll see her obviously probably when she gets released more than Reinhardt, but I think even long term you're going to see her played more just because of her kit and what she can do versus what Reinhardt can do. I'd like to get in and play more, like pair her with a Reinhardt and see how strong that would be. I think double shields for a team is just going to be pretty powerful, which is probably why they reworked Bastion to help counter some of those shieldings. But I think she's definitely a good anchor tank. She can throw shields, kind of, hey, we got to move over here, throw the shield over there, or group the enemy team where they where you want them to be.
Yep.
So she's a good. I think she fits that role well.
Yeah, like when you send out her pulse, when you grab the other people in the pulse and pull them together, they are frozen for like a second or two. As they kind of like pull together and then they're kind of released. So if you have an ult or something, you can get off, you can take them out, or
hammer down. That's what I want to try. Is pull them in and then hammer down.
Maybe we'll see like a shield meta. Yeah. So we'll have like Zarya, Orisa, Reinhardt, Symmetra, and Winston and Symmetra. It'll just be like bubbles and shields everywhere, like on a payload somewhere, Yeah. So I don't know.
We gotta go try that. We gotta go set up a custom game and just get as many shields in the game as we can.
Pile them up. Sawfty, what do you think? Do you think that she can fill that anchor tank role, or do you think she's kind of in a class of her own?
So with her kit versus something like Reinhardt, Reinhardt is a really simple kit that people can understand at a really basic level. I click and I have a giant shield in front of me that's going to shield everybody, right?
Yep.
As Ola, who's gotten the chance to test Orisa, can probably attest to here, she is going to be a very skill-intensive tank. I think the higher the skill level, the more powerful she's going to become, because she's not just right-click, put a shield up. She is getting a shield to somewhere or doing this over here. It seems like there's a lot of her abilities that are going to be very powerful for that high-skilled player, and are probably going to be not so great with someone that really doesn't understand how to pilot her, whereas Reinhardt is the anchor tank base level. So I think it's really cool if they have like 2 levels, like depending on your skills, so not everybody has to choose a Reinhardt if that's what they want. So I definitely like the kit, and I think she's going to be seen a lot in higher level competitive matches.
Yeah, I agree. I'm excited to see where this goes. But it's going to be the Omnic meta if they don't nerf Bastion enough.
It is the Omnic meta.
We're going to have Orisa and Bastion, at least every team now.
Ugh.
Zenyatta.
Yeah, throw a Zen in there.
So it'll be good.
Oh, thanks.
So we'll see. We'll see. Like next week, we'll probably start to get a better idea how things are going to shape up. But let's roll on to Reaper Watch. It's Reaper Watch week 6, I think.
Too many weeks.
So what is the current status of Reaper statue?
I think they painted his other gun or maybe his boots this week. So he's still in the process of being made.
Oh.
We'll hopefully have an update here soon.
You're coming up on the anniversary of the release of Overwatch, pretty
Yeah.
soon. So maybe he'll be an anniversary gift for you.
I hope so.
It's like, hey, I got
That's so
76
sad.
last year. Now I'm gonna get
Yeah.
Reaper this year.
Yeah.
I must have ordered him on like the very first week of the Wave 2, which is probably why it's taking so long.
So we'll keep up with that. And now it's time for the community cards of the week. Last week it was Ova and I facing off. I had the Mercy art. He had the highest noon play video from Twitter, and Ova won 75 to 25%. So
Yes.
congrats, Ova, for taking the trophy for the week, taking
you.
the card.
Thank you everyone for voting. It was cool.
So
It was good.
we need like the Reinhardt voice when he gets like 5 votes and he's like, "You honor me."
Yeah, yeah.
So there we go. There's from last week. So let's step into the community cards of the week. For this week, I will go here and give you mine. Mine is from Shappy. Shappy is a cosplayer that I've met. I've had the occasion to meet before. I believe I've met her. I'm trying to remember if I have. I think I have though. And Shappy has an awesome Mercy cosplay, and I have a link to it here on DeviantArt. You can go and find them on Twitter and everything else. But yeah, it's an awesome Mercy cosplay. The wings are super cool looking, and everything is just super detailed. Not to mention, I think that she kind of looks like Mercy, so it just adds to it even more. So there's my nomination for the week. Ova, are you going to win this next week with this nomination?
We will see.
He's going with the
My
new
nomination, yeah, I'm riding the hype train. So my nomination this week is from Ruru Cat on Twitter, and it is some art of Orisa with Pit Lord skin, and so it has some like fell coming out of it, and red and green, and some spikes on it. Looks really cool. Definitely check it out.
All of you Fell fans. All right. It is now time for Sawfty. Sawfty, you're making a return, and you have something to nominate this week. Are you going to see if you can overthrow
Alright,
both of us?
Skip me again, like I'm not even here. My nomination this week was posted by a Sam Adams on YouTube and later retweeted by Overwatch Central on Twitter. It is a Reinhardt kill of an entire team slamming a Bastion off the side. We'll make sure to put the link in the show notes, but it does look like quite a bit of fun.
It does look like fun, especially when you hear
Yeah.
like that ching, 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 ching. So there you go. 3 nominations, 4 community cards of the week. And let us know which one you like. The poll will go up right when we post the episode. So vote for your favorite, and we'll check it out next week, who wins. Remember, you can also join us on Discord. Make sure you just go to our blog page. There's a button that says Connect on Discord. Come connect with us, join us, hang out with us. We'll exchange information, Battle.net, Xbox, whatever you want to play. You can find groups, everything. So come be part of the community there. And on the community, we also ask for questions for the Ask Overcast segment. And we have a question from Wicadella this week. So
Yes, we do.
I'll go ahead and ask it. Softy, you can answer first. The question is,
Sure.
how do each of you self-evaluate your play to improve in competitive when you're trying to climb the ladder?
Poorly. It's pretty hard to self-evaluate because there's so many members of the team. I think what you can do is at the end of the game, look where you're at and think, okay, how could I have done better? I think all of us, when we're playing the game, when something that maybe we shouldn't have done or goes wrong, we immediately kind of trigger that memory of, crap, I screwed that up, and that stays with you. So I think just looking back at what you could have done better and continuously doing that will allow you to focus on those more and more and hopefully improve those through the game. But I'm terrible, so don't take my advice.
I'll give you my little thing. Maybe it's the thing that you have to kind of learn, because a lot of times when we're playing competitive, we are like, man, my teammates, you are so freaking terrible. Sometimes in your mind, like Hanzo main that's off shooting their ult into the sky, whatever it might be. You never know.
Volvo wouldn't know anything about that.
So what I try to do is, when I look at it, I do it by hero, of course, because I try to keep my memory and my evaluation of myself like hero by hero. And in competitive, you never really know who you're going to play sometimes. I mean, I try to play a lot of Mercy, or the heroes that I'm the best at, that would fit into whatever the situation would be. And then I try to group those experiences as I go along. And if I can play the same hero in one day a bunch, that helps a lot because it makes it a lot easier to remember. If I get to play Mercy one day and then I play Pharah for like a week and I play Mercy again, I usually forget the things that I need to improve on. That's the problem. And I don't know, maybe I just don't take it serious enough to keep like a notebook of how good I do or something. But I'm sure people at other levels of the game, they probably keep notebooks of, I need to do this and I'm playing this character. Some kind of self-log of themselves. But I just try to take it one hero at a time, try to remember, like as the game is wrapping up, okay, this is what I need to remember next time I play this hero, or next match if I get to play the hero again, and then try to just implement that. It can get pretty complicated because that changes from map to map as well, some of the ways you want to play some heroes, and so it can get, you got to have like a good memory of it and keep it fresh. So it's pretty tough. I mean, that's the best I can really tell you. That's what I do. How about Ova? What do you do?
Yeah, I think to what you said, just kind of building that muscle memory. So I picked up Tracer, played her quite a bit, and the one thing that was getting me was the Roadhog hooks. And I mean, that's a pretty good counter to a Tracer if, they don't blink away. She's so squishy, so it was just me getting in there and facing up against, squaring up against the Roadhog, and you just kind of, after you do it so many times, you can say, okay, I know when this hook's coming, you can predict that and blink out of the way. So I definitely agree with just playing a hero that you like, playing a hero that you want to play, and going out and practicing situations. Play against the counters, because if you can beat your counters, you can beat people that you're strong against. Another couple tools that the game has is you can look at your win rate over time. So even though you may not play the hero for hours and hours on end, you may see the win rate sitting up there, and something may have clicked with you when you're playing that hero, which is why your win rate's high, or you just got lucky. But go and try those heroes. Maybe it's something that clicks with you a little bit better than something you've been playing, and maybe your win rate will go up. I really wish that they did have in-game replays that you could either save or it's stored in-game like heroes.
Yes.
I think that would help a lot. But there's other things like you can assess medals when you're in game. If you're seeing you're playing a damage role and you don't have top damage or top gold for kills, maybe you want to think about playing a different role. Or same goes with healing, same goes with objective time for tanks, or just go in and do headshot practice. So those are some of the things that I like to incorporate throughout the week when I play.
There you go. Become a streamer so you can watch it. You go back and watch other plays.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, all good tips. All good tips. So thank you for the question, Wikidella. Go and check out the Overplayed podcast that she hosts. Little plug there. All right, time for shout-outs before we wrap up. Sawfty, do you have any shout-outs for the week?
None for this week.
Ova, how about you?
I'll just shout out to Wicked and some of the others that played on the off week and the early part of Season 4. Thanks for grouping up. That was fun.
Nice. My shout-out is somebody I talked to this week, and they run FanFit Gaming. I don't know if you know what FanFit Gaming is, but they make handmade art, like handmade crafts and things like that for fans of games. And one of the really cool things they do is they have handmade neon lights of like Overwatch stuff. So
Nice.
we'll put
That's
the link
awesome.
in the blog post. You can check it out on our Twitter and everything. But it's
Cool.
it's really cool. Like they have like the Overwatch logo or like the Diva Bunny logo and some other ones, but they're all like handmade neon lights, and it's like something that I was like, oh, this is really unique, actually.
That is cool.
That's
So,
awesome. Yeah.
yeah, so check them out, and if you have somebody, if you want to get a gift for yourself or somebody else, go get one, I guess.
Yeah.
Awesome, and that's about it. So where can people find you guys on social media or anywhere else? Ova?
You can find me on Twitter or on Twitch at Ovadrive CTR.
And Sawfty?
On Twitter or Twitch at Sawfty_wow.
There you go. Look for him on Twitch even more now.
Yeah.
And you can find me at Frosty Fox everywhere, and you can also find the network. We have Frozen Fox Live is the Twitch channel for the Frozen Fox Media Network. If any of us stream, it will auto-host to that channel as well, so you can just follow that one if you want as well. And check out everything that's going on the network if anything's live. There you go. So remember, you can follow us on Twitter, which is at Overcast Show, and our page, which is overcast.frozenfoxmedia.com. FrozenFoxMedia.com is the home for the podcasts and all the other content on the network. And thank you for watching if you're watching the YouTube version, or listening if you're listening on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play Music, or anywhere else. Wherever it might be, let us know if you love the show. Leave us a review. Subscribe so you don't miss any episodes. And that is it for episode number 72 of Overcast, your Overwatch podcast. I am Frostee.
I'm Ovadrive.
Sawfty.
And we will see you next week.
Bye.